Hello, hello, everybody. I'm Michelle Sandler with Shell Creative, and we're here for another Searchie Success interview. And this session, I have Sarah Sproule, and she is a sexuality educator. And again, I just love learning about all these different businesses. It's so cool. She has Evolve School. That is what her hub is centered around. Her business is centered around. But I'm going to let her talk a little bit about. Sarah, tell us a little bit about who you serve and what you do, and a little bit about your business.
Sure. Hi, Michelle. Thanks so much for inviting me on. So yeah, I'm a sexuality educator and I support parents to build ongoing connections with their growing kids. And the way I do that is by showing them how to have open and natural conversations about sensitive stuff like bodies, sex, where babies come from, what is consent, all those sort of sensitive things that a lot of people go, oh, I know I need to talk about it, but I don't know how.
Right. Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. And I suppose
go ahead.
The way I do that is through, I've got a course, I have a membership, and I know everyone who's watching this will have some sort of digital product if they're interested in Searchie. But it is about slow and steady, small steps and not overwhelming parents with a lot of information, because so much of my work is about gently, safely, and sort of calmly moving parents through just very small little steps, because this is the sort of thing that if you overwhelm them and say, oh, you could talk about all these things when your kids are 4, they'll go like, oh no, I just cannot manage that. So it's very much about gently.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a tour of your hub, and you can throughout that tell us a little bit more, but show us your hub and all the success that you have had with it. And
okay, so this is the hub that I'm using for my freebie. And just to let you know, obviously COVID times, I have a teenager and they're playing Xbox. So you might hear some shouting.
Yeah, if it's anything like my teenager, when they're playing their games, you'll hear it, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, and then bang.
I get it. Go. Yes, I know. I understand. No worries. Okay, this is how we're all living right now. No problem.
Exactly. Right. So this is my hub for my freebie. The idea for this freebie was to give parents very concrete, tiny little steps to do one thing, which is actually to explain sex or actual intercourse with children, like small children, because what I was finding is parents were coming to me and going, my kid asked me, how did the sperm actually get in there? And I have no idea what to say.
Right.
So as you see, it starts off. I don't know how much detail you want.
No, you can just sort of roll down and give us a tour. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so this is basically just the introductory video, which is a hero section, I think. And then I have each of these panels is just one video behind that. So it's really simple. There are no playlists or any sort of depth, because it's a very small product. In total, this would take about 15 minutes to watch.
Awesome.
So each of these are about 3 to 4 minutes.
Love it.
And then, yeah, so it's really easy. You go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then I have down here, because parents are reasonably time poor, I have the option for them to listen to a podcast version of this. And I've linked to another product that someone in the tribe world, Lindsay Padilla, uses, which is a private podcast feed. So when they click on this button here, they get to a place where they can subscribe just by clicking one button. The podcast version of this. So I loved this interface. It was so clean, in a sense that Searchie makes it really easy to sort of send people off to other little places where they need to go.
Right.
And I just loved how that sort of looked. And then I have, again, one video of who I am, because I want them to know who I am, because this is the idea about building connection with me. So they'll want to work with me further. And then down the bottom, I have the handouts for each section. So it's really simple, and it's not rocket fuel and not rocket science, and I love that about Searchie, that it can be so simple to make something that looks so beautiful.
Yeah, and I agree. And I love that you've kept everything very easy on the eyes, and it's colorful. The colors are very relatable. So as a parent, it looks like something I want to, it's very relatable as a parent, you know, where you're definitely appealing to your audience, which is wonderful. And because parents are really busy, as a mom of 3, I can relate to this. I don't want to be distracted by a ton of things. You've kept it very easy. 1, 2, 3 with the title. And it's like, there it is. It's so, you know, you haven't overly done it. So it's very easy. It's easy on the eyes, which I love. That's great.
And I think the thing that was easy to design it to make it look pulled together was to use Canva. And what I did is I found a presentation in Canva, and you know how they're all, you can find a presentation so everything is on the same theme essentially. And so I found a presentation that had a sort of a childlike quality to it, picked out 4 of their slides that were title slides that had slightly like the same graphics, but you'll see they're slightly different. So it's not like everything looks the same. There's slight difference, but it's all cohesive. So easy, just so easy.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And then, so how did you go about building your hub? Did you film your videos first? Did you like, what process did you go through in getting all this done? Because it is so simple. And I love, this is the first time, by the way, every Searchie Success interview we've done, it's always been a first. You're the first one who is using your hub as it's a lead magnet. Nobody else we've interviewed who's using theirs as a lead magnet. I love it. It's awesome. So like, what was your process in setting it up? What did you do first? Kind of what were the steps? Because it is so basic and it's so simple. And I think so many people overcomplicate this. So it'd be great just to hear like what you went through to just get this up.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'll just let you know that it took me 3 years to finally work out what my freebie was. So I'm a bit of a turtle when it comes like that. But once I'd been able to niche it down to a really small specific thing, I just sat exactly where I am like this. My webcam was on and I filmed just talking because it's one of the most simple things that I've taught people over and over again. So it's easy. Filmed 5 little videos, just free talking. I sort of knew what each one was going to be. They were individual videos. Once I'd finished them, I just put them into, I just chopped off the beginnings and the end. So instead of me looking for the button, I was looking like this when it started and looking like this when it ended, and uploaded them into Searchie. And then all it was a matter of I've actually taken this color scheme from my existing website that I have. So I didn't reinvent anything. I literally took a color scheme that I already had, found a presentation in Canva, applied that color scheme, and then just created the titles based on what each video was. So super easy. Now, once I'd done that, and put them in, then I actually used the Searchie transcription thing. You know, I can download that. I downloaded that, and that has become my, if you look over here, these handouts here. So if you click on one of those, now I edited it a bit so there wasn't too much.
Right.
If you see here, this is essentially what I said in the video. So I didn't even write a script, and I've just put lots of like returns in it so it doesn't look too dense. And see how small that is? Because that's really everything that was in the
and did you make that in Canva then too, and then just download it as a PDF, or what did you do?
Yeah, that's a PDF. Yep. And I've loaded it into
your Google Drive.
Google Drive. So that's that was really super easy. Now I'm going to try and move this control so I can go back to my hub. There it is. And really, then once I'd had them in my Google Drive, I just used a CTA grid. You'll see that there, those 4 sections, and put it to a URL, which was the PDF in my Google Drive.
Perfect.
That was it.
Perfect.
Finished.
And I love how the handouts are like exactly just your video. I mean, how brilliant is that? Like, don't overcomplicate it, right? I mean, come on. It's just brilliant. I love it.
Super easy.
So what advice do you have for somebody getting started in Searchie?
Find the simplest possible, tiniest possible project. Like, it can't be much tinier than 15 minutes worth of video spread out over 5 videos in total, with the handouts just being the transcriptions. So find the tiniest possible project so that you feel like you've got a win. And don't overcomplicate it. Go into Canva, find one template for one thing, get your existing color scheme, because reduce the amount of decisions you have to make. That would be my main thing. And you'll see here, there's no playlist, there's no nothing. And the smaller the thing is, the easier it is to build in Searchie and to get that feeling of success. And once you've got that feeling of success, then you can move on to something slightly more complicated.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So you're using this as a list builder. So you obviously must have something coming up that you want to tell us about. What have you got going on?
Yes. I'm actually launching the Evolve School next week. So this would be the sort of my first port of call, like, how do you talk about sex? And then once parents realize that there are very simple steps, then at the end of this, I'll say something like, but do you know what? There are so many other conversations your kid needs to have with you. It's not just about how the sperm and the egg come together. It's all about how do you negotiate consent? What is pregnancy like? Like, there's just, I have something like 250 different conversations inside the Evolve School, which sounds overwhelming, but it's not, because they're not all age appropriate for each age child.
Right.
So
yeah.
So that's starting next week, and I'm going to live my launch life for the next 3 weeks as I get people into my launch program, and then, oh, excuse me, sorry about the dog, and then open the Evolve School. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about that, because
I love it.
I'm so excited, because the Evolve School is inside Searchie as well. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So where can people find out about that if they're interested?
Yeah, sure. sarahsproule.com/evolve.
Okay.
So that's, sarahsproule.com/evolve.
Okay. And you can, hopefully everybody can see the name there. It's spelled SARAHSPROULE.com.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's not an easy name to spell, but once you Google me and say sex education, there's no one else that's doing that with that name. So
well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're a niche then. Okay. So any words in closing? Anything else you want to mention before we head out?
Only that not to be afraid of building something really simple in Searchie. You don't have to go for something complex. And in fact, I didn't realize how easy this would be until I'd done it and it looked kick-ass. And then I was like, if I'd known that, I probably would have done it sooner.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your success with us. We're really grateful. And I hope everything goes well with your launch next week. And everybody out there, look, it can be so simple as just putting up a lead magnet with a couple of videos and a PDF from a transcript. So you can get it going, small steps, have your success. And thanks for following along. Thanks for being a part of our Searchie Win community. And thanks, Sarah, again for your time. See everybody soon. Thanks so much.